To make this really interesting, we have beautiful people show up on a regular basis. Today's beautiful person's name is Rhonda from South Carolina. Hello, Rhonda.
Hi.
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 I did see in the background there, you do have a worker there. Is that a partner or an employee?
It is a licensed agent.
A licensed agent that works for you personally, or?
I have 2 in-house.
Oh, so you must be doing pretty well in this business. There's a lot of people coming in this call who are not successful. You're probably 100% aware that the vast majority of people who come into this business do not succeed. I suppose if you're paying 2 people a salary or some sort of, you must be succeeding to a very certain extent. So what I would like to do, Rhonda, is make this call about you and to tell us exactly what you do and how you make so much money.
Oh, wow. Okay. I came into the industry in 2007. And then I actually just opened the agency up, worked out of my home and so forth. Well, I actually worked for a broker and then out of my home, and then opened the agency up this year, March 1st of 2021. And I just had a lot of people contacted me that wanted to become agents. And so I was very successful in becoming an agent and working in mostly med sups, advantage plans, PDPs, a little bit of life insurance, not much of life insurance. So opened that up, found a really great lead source. And I have soared in the industry. So I have literally brought on 2 full-time agents in the agency with me at this time. And the leads, that source that we're using, they are literally getting calls and making appointments on a daily basis. So they are really doing well as well right now.
Are you doing this exclusively telephonically?
Yes. Yes.
Because of the COVID situation, there was no other way to do it.
That's correct. So I literally went out and hired telemarketers, which would live transfer calls to us.
I see. So I get a lot of people who Google the word live transfer, final expense, live turns, Medicare, anything to do with leads in the insurance industry. I have a page that shows up right at the top of the search engine, and you may have clicked around and saw that page. A lot of people see that page. A lot of people come into our system because of that page, especially call centers. I sprinkle through that page the word $8 live transfer leads, which is tremendously attractive to call centers. I get calls every day from call center managers and owners. And I tell them, sign up for a website. We discuss leads on this 6-day per week video conference. And in the meantime, they sign up for the website. I try to get these people to put the website on their own domain name and all that good stuff. But personally, since you're succeeding in this business, the onus is upon yourself to generate leads and close deals. That is your chosen profession. A lot of the new agents coming in are being hoodwinked into believing there's some sort of magic formula where if you empty out your bank accounting to give someone else money, you'll become rich. And that's so ridiculous. It's not even, I can't even laugh. Yeah, I like to laugh.
That is true. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it just so happens we are in an industry where to become a licensed person who's able to sell these products, it's a 40-hour course. So you're talking about a lot of Amazon warehouse workers, fast food workers, maybe not so much for girls, but I know a lot of guys, when they go on these dates on the computer, they're always clicking. The first thing the girl asks is, what do you do? If they say they work in fast food, even if they're the assistant to the assistant to the assistant manager, it just doesn't sound good. Right. So a lot of these people get insurance licenses, but it doesn't mean they stay in the business. It just means they're an easy prey for these marketing companies that really are trying to empty out one's bank account. But what you're doing is really how one succeeds, is make sales on a regular basis, realize any lead source you have from a third party is somewhat temporary.
Right. Absolutely it is. And we work, my career itself with my clientele has been referrals. I mean, I didn't have to buy. I wouldn't have to, get into the lead source if it wasn't for the new agents coming on board. So getting that set up and for them, finding the niche for them and to get started is what the reason I went out to a lead source. But I work mainly on referrals. I get a lot of referrals.
If you know your product line, you are an expert at your product line, it usually ends up as a good system. As you're making $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 per month, you realize that there's money's coming in. You could hire other people to show them similar instead of you just telling them what you've done, and so they can make $5,000, $10,000, and $20,000 a month. You might as well just give them a set salary, and you get all the extra money. And that's probably what you've done.
Yes, which would take them about 2 years on their own if they were really dedicated and determined.
And if they have savings, which a tremendous amount of former Amazon or fast food workers don't have any savings, so they can work for someone who is set up already.
Yes, that's correct.
The Medicare contracts, you probably know, are pretty similar wherever you go.
Yes, absolutely.
The Medicare Advantage, it is by federal law. Are they up to $500 first year, $250 thereafter?
Yes. Is that for some states are $480, $490.
I know. I remember this multiple years ago. It was $389. I get a little bit every year. I get older, and that number goes up.
Right.
It goes up. We do have anyone who wants to get into the Medicare business. We have all the contracts to let you know. If you are a recruiter in this business, you could only get override commissions on people below you.
Okay.
Which means those people have to do certifications and all that good stuff as well.
Absolutely.
But if you need to, there are ways where we could get people more money from the get-go, if that's of interest to you.
Okay.
But I'm not that excited about Medicare. Medicare is completely dependent. You know more about this than I do. It's completely dependent on speaking to people at a certain time of their life, being in contact with those people and presenting them the product.
That is true. And maintaining them every year to 2 years when those rates go up. If you're not there to take care of them, somebody else will.
And I believe the metropolitan areas are more Medicare Advantage.
Yes, that is true.
Rural areas in the country, it's Medicare Supplement. Is that still the way it works?
Yes.
They've got very strict laws on contacting people on Medicare and Medicare Advantage. Is that?
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Okay, I'm learning so much.
You cannot solicit.
So the technique to get the first customers, how did you do it?
Well, actually, like I said, I work a lot from referrals. So those people have those people to contact me, or they will give me, they'll email me. I'll have them to give them an email. They'll email me, and then I contact them from that email. They have to first make the first contact on Advantage plans. You cannot solicitate to Advantage plans clientele.
How about the technique? We are on YouTube right now, so we have to stay 100% within the law, not even during this call, but after the call as well. But just as I suppose there are people who say, hey, I'm calling for life insurance, I'm calling for Medicare Supplement. Then you know certain demographics in certain metropolitan areas, they're only buying Medicare Advantage. There's like a 1 in a million chance they'll buy a supplement or something else.
Right.
Are there I don't even want to say the word unethical, because the ethics are, have to do with life and death. There
is a permission to contact form. When we do have those live transfers and there are an Advantage plan, then I send them a contact information form that I have permission to contact them. So at that point, it breaks it open to where I can talk to them and get a scope of appointment from them at that time of what different types of insurance that we will be talking about.
Does that mean you could contact them as a telemarketer for dental insurance or life insurance? Then if hey, I didn't realize you're turning 65 in 3 months and 1 day, and then that
permission to contact. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can.
So I suppose there's a lot of telemarketer companies out there that are contacting people for life insurance, dental insurance, and other types of insurance, and immediately, just as a matter of fact, is that iffy in the industry? If that's
it is. It is iffy. If you don't have your documentation, if you're audited, you could get in trouble. I mean, you could lose your license. It could be suspended.
Right. This
Fines,
is
retraining.
very strict federal laws, and
Absolutely.
taking a certification every year. You can't say I didn't know what the law was because you're doing a certification
Absolutely.
every year. I hate to say I'm a very bad guy. Like I'm always looking for an angle, but calling a list of people turning 65 in 3 months going forward for dental insurance, for life insurance, for any type of final expense insurance. Are there people doing that? And let's say they're doing 100 sales a month on Medicare Advantage, month in, month out. Does the insurance companies get a little bit suspicious of, like, how is this person getting 100 sales a month telephonically?
I'm sure they do get suspicious of it. I'm sure they do. But again, a lot of it, they'll look at it as your current clientele, especially during the AEP. But if it's outside the AEP period, I don't know how they question it, to be honest with you. I don't have personally that volume of Advantage plans. I'm mostly med subs. I don't have that volume. Mm-mm.
The more wealthy people are more likely to buy the Medicare supplement. Are those people more likely to be on the do not call list?
I don't find that to be true. No. Right now we're doing 50,000 and above. And we got the incomes coming in, what they range from, and they're ranging from 111,000 up to past 250,000. So, and we do bump them up against the do not call list, of course, on the do not call.
So the do not call list is not as popular as it was years ago.
No,
I actually got out of the telemarketing business as soon as that do not call list came in. And we're talking 14, 15, 16, a long time ago.
Right.
And that was the specific reason.
And I don't have one person that says I'm on the do not call list.
Because you're scrubbing it. You're scrubbing it.
Right. We're scrubbing it. If that was to be the fact, then we would shred that lead. We would not call that lead again. It would be discarded.
So how do people make sales to these sophisticated upper income people who are the most likely to buy Medicare?
They're using the words Medicare supplement. They're not using the words Medicare Advantage. They're definitely using Medicare supplement, which there is no rules and regulations of contacting a Medicare supplement recipient.
On the Medicare, what percentage of Americans who have a telephone are on the do not call list?
When we first get the list, and I see the list or the numbers in the regions or counties that the company will be calling, it's way up there. And then I'd say it comes down about maybe 40, 50, 60,000. It cuts.
Is that percentage?
No, I would say a percentage. It would be about a 30%.
30%, but the 30%. From what I'm thinking of is logical are more the upper income people, the people more likely to buy a supplement, if Absolutely. I'm not mistaken.
I would agree.
So you you don't like to insult people on a very public forum like YouTube. I won't say the word bottom of the barrel, unsophisticated, because that sounds bad. So I just eliminate that. I just said that.
Right. Okay.
That was a joke. That was a joke. But in any case, Rhonda, you're in South Carolina and I'm not there, so I guess no one in South Carolina will be insulted. No. Regardless. Okay, that's what we do. Okay, so you're pretty well set on all the Medicare contracts. You may or may not know that the NAIP website is set up completely for any insurance business. If you looked at the format and the editability of this system, you could throw that Medicare quote engine at the top. You could put a video of Medicare towards the top. You may have seen the editing features where you have the slider show the video at the top. You can rewrite the content to whatever you do for a living. Yes. If you have to be completely on the ball because you know how valuable these leads are on Medicare, especially that top 30%. That's most likely to buy the supplement. You cannot contact. They have to contact you through some sort of advertising.
Right.
If they're incredibly impressed by you, that is a good place to be.
Correct. Correct. And
So
I am on your NAAIP website.
hopefully you put the website on your own domain name. Hopefully you.
Not yet. I did my old, not the agency yet that I just opened. That will be happening.
If you could find a better website for any business, please tell me. I'll take whatever features they have. I say, hey, we have that feature. But in the meantime, the feature that I like the best is the video at the top, or the slider show at the top. You can now put up to 4 header images at the top, but there's nothing like video.
Right.
Nothing beats video. The Medicare quote engine at the top.
Right.
Initially, I'm not sure how long you've been without Rhonda. Initially, we made a valiant effort to have an accurate Medicare quote engine, which had accurate rates, and we weren't able to update the rates on a regular basis. And you probably know there's only one company that has a good quote engine that has the rates. It's called CSG Actuarial.
Yes.
CSG. They have it.
Yes.
And they could sell it to you. I believe they start off at a relatively low price, and they kept on jacking up their rates.
I pay $180 a month.
Okay, they have jacked up their rates slowly but surely.
Yes.
If you've got the website version of that, you could stick on an AIP website in the content management. There's towards the right. There's a greater than and less than sign. That's the code. That's the HTML code. That's where you input the HTML iframe code that they give you, and you plug it right in there. And it I don't believe it's as aesthetically pleasing as our quote engine. Our Medicare supplement quote engine, which is 3 year, I believe it says on there in the back office, updated 2019, which is a long time ago, which is not really useful. We don't make it live. You have to hunt for it in the back office. We show the name of the company, but you can change the name of the company where you're just showing rates.
Okay.
And you could change it to the name of the company to Major Company 1, Major Company 2, Major Company 3. I noticed very few agents are doing that. So at a certain point, we said, hey, let's just put this in the background. The Medicare supplement quoter that shows up live on websites when new people sign up really just collects name, phone, and email.
Okay.
So unless you look around for that outdated quote engine, you won't find it. But our outdated quote engine is superior of collecting visitor information, if that's of interest to you. But how do you explain to someone, hey, the rates aren't accurate? That's a hard thing to do.
Exactly.
So that was a problem. We do our best. The other quote engine that we have, which has accurate rate, that has rates, is the Term Life Quoter, and that was updated 2 years ago. But for term life, it doesn't make a difference because the rates really don't change much, and the rates are just an estimate anyways.
Okay, right.
The insurance companies are just throwing mud at a wall.
You're right.
What is preferred? What is super preferred? No one knows what it is. Anyways.
Right.
And I've noticed as well as for term life, for life insurance agents really don't make very few sales come on term life. The successful insurance agents are selling something called retirement planning. Retirement planning is if you're going to buy a life insurance policy at $100 or $200 or $50, $100 a month, if someone shows you an illustration where you could get 5, 6, 7% interest growing on a compound basis, and this is shown in an illustration example where it shows you how much money you'll have at 65 years old. Any normal person will put that extra money in there. And that's how insurance agents make it. Your business, if you do it well, which is the Medicare, you make money. The other avenue, which I noticed that insurance agents are making money, are the traditional way of New York Life, Mass Mutual, Northwest Mutual. For the most part, those agents are really just selling IUL or retirement planning. They're not selling term.
Right.
They only sell. And they're all through mutual insurance companies. The companies I mentioned. If anyone wants recruiter level contracting from that mutual insurance company, one of our final expense company that we start people at 122%, we have the same contracts and the same for the Medicare and health as well. So in the future, if you ever want to go through us, there are lead systems out there. For every, I believe it's 7 or 8 sales, we give you 1,000 mailers.
Okay. Wow.
So, hopefully you're getting that. If it sounds like you're not, because you did say the word wow. That's really not good. That's really not good. But if you want to go through us in the future, we could definitely make that. I'm doing my best to become the default website for every insurance agent in America, no matter what you're selling. Initially,
Okay.
we gave it a token effort on the Medicare by having that beautiful Medicare quote engine that was being updated all the time. And at a certain point, we say, hey, this ain't worth it. But on the life insurance, we offer substantially higher commissions than you can get anyplace else, especially on this retirement planning, where you notice that the website could be very easily set up. So
Right.
if you're selling insurance to middle to upper income people who are forking over the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 per year on this retirement planning, a lot of those people have businesses. So if you could set up the website for those people, you've hit pay dirt.
Okay.
Life will be good. Though the final expense, which is the third way people make money in this business, I've just seen terrible results.
Right.
And you've been in this. How many years have you mentioned 2007? We're up to 13 years. Have you seen this? Am I just talking because? Am I just saying stuff that I don't know about, or what I'm saying saying accurate?
Yeah, what you're saying is accurate. Absolutely.
Wow.
And I got out of doing a lot of life insurance policies because going through, the quoting, like you said, a standard or preferred, and doing the parameds. And then when the rate finally comes back, it's so high that the client declines. And so all that time
that's on the term, because you have to convince someone you're planning on dying in the next 20 years. Let's buy this policy before you die.
Right.
That's a hard sale.
It is.
The New York Life, the Mass Mutual, they show the illustration. And for every customer they get $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Through us, you're at between 90 and 100% commission. If you're experienced in this business, it's 100% with a major mutual company. Those people at Mass Mutual and New York Life are starting at 55%, but it's still, at least they're selling a product that has a need.
Okay, right.
As opposed to the final expense on the term, which I just don't see good results. Medicare is Medicare, you can make money if you set it up properly and if you're working.
Exactly.
That's all it is. If you set it up properly.
I think I'm the only broker out here that revisits drug plans for the clients every single year. Requote drug plan. And
how many we could get a little bit personal since Rhonda is very friendly and I could somehow get information out of her. When you were doing this yourself, how many sales were you making on a monthly basis?
I would say average new, and we're not talking existing clients. I'm talking about
new people when you first started in the business in 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, when you first started to concentrate on Medicare.
I had a sale a day. An average of sale a day. So my goal was 30. So I was hitting out there in the pavement and 4.4 to 5 appointments a day.
And you were closing one?
I was closing at least one a day. But sometimes, of course, it'd be 2 or 3 a day that I would hit. But minimal would be 30 in a month. That would be my goal. And that would be, if I didn't make 30, I had to pay for my leads. So, of course.
You were working for a company that was supplying this for you. And you could tell us, what was the name of the company?
I can't say.
Okay, you don't have you're not gonna say. This was a Medicare company or a life insurance company?
It was MedSups, and life insurance and annuities. So we did a combination.
But it was primarily MedSups.
Primary MedSups and drug plans. Mm-hmm. And
if I was to guess, Bankers Life, am I warm?
No, not at all.
Okay, I'm just.
It wasn't a good split. It wasn't a good split for me and the broker, so that's why I don't want to say the name.
Oh, I see. It doesn't make a difference. You were captive.
I have no idea coming out of school that I was captive, that he paid me and the companies didn't pay me. And it ended up him going through a bad divorce. And I was able to see only a roof over my head and a telephone he supplied. So I went out on my own.
Right. You were working not directly for the company. You were working for a broker who had a contract with the company. And that broker was supplying you.
Paid me what he thought I was worth.
And what you agreed to.
Yes. Well, didn't know. He tricked me.
How many years did that trickery continue?
2 years. 2 years.
So from 2007 to 2009-10?
Right. Mm-hmm.
What happened in 2010?
I decided to leave, and he showed his true colors. I got an attorney. An attorney says, you can either keep the commissions or you can keep the clients, but you can't have both based on the contract that I signed. So
Right. It's based on the contract. It's all the written word. When you saw the attorney, he said, "Show me the paper," whatever that paper said.
Exactly. I was shocked. And so
verbally, he was telling you how wonderful you are and you're his partner. But when you showed up at the attorney, he said, "What's written down?"
Exactly. Because it had on there on the contracts, all honesty, a special agent. And I asked him, "What's a special agent?" He says, "I don't know." I said, "Okay, I'm special, so I'll sign special agent." Seriously, that's how it went down. And he knew what a special agent was. It was a LOA. So I was, he paid me.
Wow, that was so deceptive. A special agent, and it never went to trial.
No, the lawyer said I could either have one or the other. I could keep the clients or the commission, but I couldn't have both.
Well, forget about the clients. It's the commission that matters on Medicare supplement.
No, I took the clients. I sat in front of those people. I negotiated that business. They didn't know this man from a man in the moon. So I knew I could help them down the road when their premiums got high or they knew me. They give me referrals. So I went back to zero.
So your clients were very the product that you were selling apparently wasn't the best deal in the industry?
Absolutely not. No,
so that's why
he's sold by the best contracts, not the best company.
Oh, so they were very easily to be switched to something else. That's why you preferred. Rhonda is a smart girl. If these clients had the best, lowest prices in the industry, you would have taken the commission.
Absolutely.
But they were very switchable.
Another thing that I really got upset about was when their premiums increased, say 2 years, after I wrote them, their premiums started increasing. So I started getting phone calls and believe me, I'm a newbie at this. I'm green. And I would go to see if I can find him a better deal on a fixed income. And then I would be punished for it. I wouldn't get what he would give me only $50 for a rewrite. So he was making the full 235, 250, 300 off of it and only giving me 50 because of the rewrite. He didn't believe in that.
This guy was supplying you he must have been spending money on leads or telemarketing or something.
He had a girl in there calling. Yes, he did. He had a girl in there calling. Yes.
And at a certain point, you realized you could have a girl in there calling and keep all the money for yourself, minus whatever her salary was. That didn't take that long to figure out.
Right. Correct.
And since these people were very switchable because the deal they had was not so good, I suppose you made a lot of sales right from the get-go.
Absolutely. Yes, I did.
You were the number one insurance agent in the entire United States for that 3 months period.
Right at it, front runner and everything else, winning trips.
You were winning trips left and right. So you know about CSG Actuarial. It's pretty easy. You just sell the company that has the lowest price or pretty close to the lowest price. It's not that complicated.
Till I found out the industry too. I mean, like I said, businesses closing doors, trapping seniors, then I stay away from those as much as I can. Okay,
let me think of you're doing well, so there's probably not I shouldn't say that. I have a lot of good ideas, a lot of tricks up my sleeve.
Okay.
One of the mistakes you'll probably realize, which you have, when did you figure out that if you're in front of these people, you might as well be selling them these big retirement planning or these big annuities and big long-term care and these big policies that New York Life and Mass Mutual are selling? Have you figured that out already?
Yes.
You have?
Yes. Yes, I have. And that has only been for about a year and a half, actually.
So 13 years into the journey, year 11.
Yes, that's retirement money. Absolutely.
That's really the bigger policies. The Medicare supplement is a lot of chipping at a brick where you get 30, 40, 50 to get you in the door. Mm-hmm. And really, if you have complete knowledge of the business, and as an aside, similar to what I'm doing on NAIP, it's almost like the Leave It to Beaver. Wally says, "Aw shucks." We offer free websites, free quote engines, no strings, no catches. People sign up, they click around, they see that it's really good.
Right.
And an odd shocks. Hey, by the way, but my real specialty is getting these game-changing good deals on, XYZ mutual insurance company, XYZ final expense company,
Right.
or the various Medicare companies. It's the same, similar type of sales situation.
Absolutely.
So hopefully, if I haven't sent you the contracting, I do put something that's rolling across the bottom. It says, email me if you want recruiter level contracting from a top 5 mutual company. What I've noticed as well, which you may have noticed as well, is the term life is unsellable. The final expense is nice to sell, but you cannot really expect much from it because the cancellations are so high, and you're selling financial products to broke people, which usually does not end up as a happy ending.
Correct.
But it's always nice to have.
Yes, it's money now. Right, it's money now.
It's money. It's if they're going to buy it, they might as well buy it from you. The final expense company that we are encouraging people to contract with and sell, we start everyone off at 122% commission, which I know is
really good.
Which doesn't exist anywhere else for any agent coming in. I just don't want to negotiate with people. If you want to sell it, you might as well. They're the only ones out there that have 5 different policies, everything from guaranteed issue to preferred. So there's something in there. They also dabble in accident policies, which are very simple.
Okay.
I believe it's $20 a month. You pay for 20 years at $100,000 of accident if they die of an accident. In the meantime, the $100,000 in accident goes up to $200,000, and to 20 years they get all the money back. Pretty simple sale.
Okay.
Mortgage protection. Mortgage protection is just another word for easy issue term. They do have the option of return a premium, which allows the insurance agent to make more money, to get the premium up. Very simple products, no blood, no urine. You start at the highest level. We go from there. But I have to tell you, that particular product line is so easy. There's nothing to it. You show it to any new agent coming in, they should be able to figure out in 5 or 10 minutes. But the big stuff is these major mutual insurance companies. So if you want your people, your 2, 3, 4 people to actually come up with these big policies, once every week, 2 weeks, every month, it's really going to be learning a product line from a large mutual life insurance company. So hopefully you'll make this part of your product line, but it's completely up to you.
Absolutely.
And what else we have to talk about? Incentive-based marketing. I just love that word, incentive-based marketing. So whatever industry you're in, if you could incentivize people to really know that you exist, you may have heard these previous videos where I talk about offering a website, help moving up the search engine to business owners, and they'll love you to all end. That's probably not relevant for people on Medicare, if I'm not mistaken. Most Medicare people don't own their own business.
No.
Is that's
true. That is true.
Okay. So we actually, if you click, I could probably do screen sharing, but if you go to naaip.org, towards the bottom, if you scroll down under sales tools, there's a click there for last will and testament, free will, be a digital agent. That goes to a company called doyourownwill.com. And I like that idea so much, where if the insurance agent becomes a notary public, they carry a portable printer in their truck or their car. I did speak to someone on this call, and they mentioned you could be a notary public telephonically. I'm not even sure how it's done, but it can be done. I suppose if an insurance agency or agent has a list of 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000 copies of will in their file cabinet, they're going to be become a needed and known entity in the local community.
Right.
And this way you could really localize stuff. Imagine if people in your city wake up in the morning and they know that Rhonda has a copy of my will and she witnessed the signature, or her office has that, it would be much easier to close these other deals, which especially these products that make it impossible for you to contact people, where you just said 30% of everyone is on that do not call list.
Right.
So I suppose, I don't know that much about the business, but there's a certain percentage of the people that need a more complicated through a trust. But I suppose there would be some sort of partnership with an attorney. I like that idea so much. I told my programmer to make something similar I can't say, copy, in the same ballpark as
Right.
doyourownwill.com. It's going to be at the bottom of every NAAIP website. I would say in the next 2 months. We've already built it. We just have to upload it to every website. It'll be similar to every other feature on NAIP. You'll see it'll be live, then there'll be a button that says hide.
Okay.
And that's really, but you don't have to wait till my programmer uploads it. It seems like such a good idea that I would do that. And it takes a little, a little bit of research, and probably hooking up with a local attorney when stuff gets complicated. But a lot of those Medicare Advantage people that it's just a piece of paper. It's very scary to keep a copy of the will in your sock drawer.
Right.
You always have to have one person has it off site somewhere.
Right.
And it might as well be the person who sold them a Medicare policy or someone who's known in the local community.
Right. And I do get asked a lot about wills and power of attorneys and documentation like that.
And you're like, oh, that makes sense. Maybe I should do that.
That does.
This is a hard business.
The wheels are turning.
Okay, what else? Because giving away free websites to people who are 80 years old probably won't work.
No.
So what else we have to talk about? So incentive-based marketing is whatever you could think. Have you ever done the concierge service for funeral?
No.
Checking local funeral homes, finding how much they're charging, exactly the experience of people coming in, what they'll be encouraged to pay and how they do it. Then Googling the word online casket, online tombstone, and seeing the difference in price.
No, I have not done that.
Rhonda, I thought you were the smartest person in all South Carolina.
No, I haven't done that. No.
Wow.
But I wonder why you have to go to a funeral home to buy a casket while there's not casket companies.
Well, the federal government, whatever they say about in the Deep South about the Confederacy and what the federal got. One of the good things they probably did is they forced funeral homes to accept outside caskets and tombstones according to an FTC regulation.
Okay.
And but a percentage of the people walking in that traumatic part of their life will not shop around. So they have those prices really high.
Correct.
If it becomes known in your part of South Carolina that you're the expert to help out people, word gets out.
Wow.
And what your expertise may just be is, hey, I Googled the word online casket and I compared prices.
Absolutely.
And at the time of death, you have two options. You could tell these people, call me, or just give them the phone number. It depends how much work you have. If you have two people in your office, you may be able to have a part and parcel of what you're doing where they call you. Because if they call you, they'll be much more attracted to you. And at a certain point in time, I suppose you could get a cut from that online casket company.
Right.
For your time and effort, whatever you decide what your time and effort is worth. If it's worth, a huge amount or just a couple of dollars, I'm sure that they realize the connection is with you. And if you close it, they're much more likely to deliver the casket.
Correct. That sounds like a good idea. Now I have
those two ideas. Two ideas. I gave you two.
You
ideas,
did.
Not just one.
You did.
How about the idea of manipulating, putting your website and completely highlighting what you do, rewriting the website, especially video at the top.
Absolutely.
The video at the top can only be 10, 12, maybe 20 seconds.
Okay.
And it's not going to have a voice.
Okay.
I did see a gentleman that I spoke with him this morning. He made a website where he did a doodling, where he wrote out, you may have seen online, there's a company advertising all over the place, $69 one-time fee, and you could make your own video with writing.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
If you go into our password-protected back office, we do give you an example of, I believe, 28 videos, but you could upload your own.
Right. Yeah.
I realized the videos are so important. I did tell my pro. I actually gave him a list of 60 or 70 videos to upload more.
Okay.
He'll probably get that done in the next, I would say, 3 weeks. It's to resize and upload 60 videos. He's going to do 60 videos and another 50 images.
Okay. Sounds
But
awesome.
there's nothing like your video and your image. You could upload whatever you want. I'm not sure if you want to, if you have 3 people in the office, are they all females?
No.
3 girls?
2 girls and 1 male.
Okay, so
we'll be 2 males and 2 females. I got another one coming on board.
Okay, so there's nothing we know in this financial sales insurance business. These individual salespeople, it's always one guy who oftentimes gets their license last week. They don't really know what they're doing, and you could and the people who they're going to sort of have the feeling that they don't imbue confidence. Like, how long you've been doing this? I've been doing this for 2 weeks. Where do you work? It's just a weird situation. So if you could have your high-powered video camera, flip it to the side, and take a picture of these 4 people, for 10, 15 seconds, just being happy and maybe smiling and dancing. Anything you do to make it into, even these people jumping up and down and dancing, just all happy, probably makes the point that this company is here to stay and that you can provide service that others cannot. The one-person operations cannot provide almost any service because it's always one guy just driving around.
Exactly.
When you call them, it's always a machine or the guy's picking up on a cell phone.
Right. You're right.
So if you can make the point at the front and center on your website that there's 4 people there, that's probably your most successful video you could put.
I agree.
Rhonda, I'm speaking too much. Please say something sweet.
I'm very interested in the NAAIP website.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. If you want, I just want one more point before you take over the show. I suppose this whole NAIP website system is something that's right now where I'm involved. I'm offering contracts. I would love to get to the situation where I'm not offering contracts, where there will be regional managers completely in charge. When someone comes into our system and let's say you're part of South Carolina and stuff is coming in from you, I say join Rhonda's team. For whatever reason, I'm not able to successfully cause insurance agents to make money on this remote situation. Mass Mutual, New York Life are probably the 2 most successful marketing companies out there the last 100 years. They have regional offices. They have managers that say, learn the product line, write out a list of your 200 favorite relatives, and sales come in based on that. And that's not something that I'm successfully able to do where I am. It just so happens we're at the tail end of this website project. When it's completely done, it will be becoming a white label system. White label means you'll be able to offer websites to other insurance agents. Those other insurance agents will have no idea that my company exists. And that's really where we could really push that regional office type of system, which is the traditional way to bring in money to insurance marketing companies. The incentive-based marketing where people offer insurance agents to business owners can be done now, no problems. The only negative would be when let's say the plumber or the electrician gets an email from someone who filled out a form, it'll have my name on it. In my footer, it'll mention video conference 6 days a week. That's it. But for a plumber, it's not a big deal. He doesn't care.
Yeah,
The only link I put at the bottom of these websites anyways is about our final expense company. And it does mention the commission level if you click of 122%. But business owners don't care about final expense.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
So you were about to say something very sweet. What was that, Rhonda?
You've almost covered it all. I don't know what else to add to it here. I don't know.
Okay, let me ask you. Okay, so you did a sale a day when you were working for this guy.
Yes.
You were his star pupil, and he hired one. You were like closing.
We actually had 3 full-time agents. He had 3 full-time agents. there, and he didn't pay me anything hourly at all, but he did pay another agent hourly because he had 3 children and other situations that he was needing the money and not producing the way he should be producing at that time. So, but anyways, and then we recruited a Bankers Life agent that didn't last no time at all. He was just lying to the clients and so forth. So the broker got rid of him really fast. So that meant there was only 2 of us left.
And what happened immediately after you left? You did some shopping about what company to represent on an independent basis?
Yeah, so that was it was crazy because I didn't know the industry like that. I didn't know about the companies, the contracts, and who to trust at that time because I had not been told the truth to and afraid to sign something else that would get me in trouble. And but anyways, a company by the name of AmeriLife took me in and literally started contracting me with the companies and so forth and telling me, this company I couldn't write for 6 months.
Right. So okay. I'm happy to be familiar with the company that you just mentioned. Just to let you know, we do get people better deals, more leads, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely.
Since you mentioned them, I'm not in such great terms with that company that you did mention, I would get you the best deal regardless. You've moved on from that company that you mentioned?
Absolutely. I don't have anything with them. Absolutely.
Okay,
You're really right.
Okay.
And they don't let you go either. Once you're with them, that company just doesn't want to release your contracts either. It was very hard to get out of there.
Well, it's 6 months or get a written release. That's
exactly
what it is.
Exactly. So I moved on and
how many when you were completely independent, after that slavery type situation, how many sales were you making on a monthly basis?
Oh, it was slow. Let me tell you, because I didn't have anybody calling and setting, the pre-appointments for us, and getting us in the door, getting the foot in the door, and then us calling and making literally the appointment and selling it. So I relied on postcards, sending out postcards to my current clientele to let them know I appreciate the referrals if I've done a really good job for you. And then going in and trying to reevaluate their life insurance policies, opening up, if they have, getting ready to retire, with what they're doing with their 401s, and just sending out information like that, which got me a lot of business that I wasn't, thinking I would get, but I did. I got quite a bit there, and referred to relatives or what have you. And
so you were good. You were good at the job, but you realized it should be a 2-person operation.
Absolutely.
This particular business called financial sales or insurance sales involves getting in front of people and closing deals. That's 2 tasks. It helps if you have one person doing one task, another person doing the other task.
Right. And then you, of course, have the customer service that you have to maintain every single day. The calls coming in, I got a bill, from this person. I had the F plan. I shouldn't have got a bill. And finding out, I've have been in rehab and they're kicking me out of rehab. And it says on the policy days 1 through 20, 0. How can they kick me out? Things like that. Was coming about. So yeah, I literally played the role for a good year and a half before I hired somebody.
And you had enough money coming in? You had to get money coming in so you could hire a second person?
Right away. Absolutely.
Oh, you had enough savings where you could hire a second person?
No. It took me a year and a half before I could hire a second person. So no, I just lived off of what I was doing at that time. I had over 300 clients when I left, 300 clients in a 2.5 year period. So I was able to people, their husbands turning 65, their friends.
Just to keep track of all that stuff, you need someone sitting in front of a computer working and another person to close. You were doing it all.
All of it. So I was literally working till 10 o'clock at night.
I get you. Okay, so what else so the sales probably really picked up. We won't talk about that first year and a half. I would say when you got that second person, it takes 2 or 3 months for that second person to get trained. Exactly. So 3 months fast forward after that second person came in, how many sales were you making on a monthly basis?
Actually, it was maybe I'm looking at 50, 55 a month.
You're making some real money, like very quickly.
I am. I'm making really good money. Yes.
So 55 sales, and so you you've plateaued at 50 to 60 sales for multiple years in a row?
Yes.
Is that what it was? Because that's enough to live pretty well.
Yes. Up to over 1,300 active clients myself, me writing right now.
I have a clip of 50 a month.
Yes.
Over a couple of years, it eventually
Yes.
becomes 13. So that's real money. So you see the savings
And
coming in.
Multiple products per. I mean, that's multiple. That's life. That's final expense. That's annuities. That's med subs. That's drug plans. It's a lot of different products per person that's sold.
I see. So you've got this money coming in, and you realize you know what you're doing. You're an industry where the vast majority of people who come in don't succeed. They're not even close to success. So if you realize you give them a specific task, do this one thing, they can probably do it.
I've got one person that's right now specializing in the life. He's heading that off and doing well with that. Then I have a person that is more or less the Advantage plan and the PDP. I've passed that off. I'm doing more of the IULs, the annuities, the dental.
The bigger stuff where hypothetically you'll get $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 per sale.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
That gets you excited. This whole
that keeps the business going. That keeps more people coming in.
Right, which is the big sales, which is the higher quality. I mean, the higher level of closing skill.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
That's the closing skill. When a person has that good closing skill, they always want to close stuff that's bigger.
That's right. That's right.
Do they have mansions, like super mansions in your part of South Carolina?
We do, and I've had people that are famous that are here, athletes versus musicians. So yes, that I do have as clientele, doctors that I have.
Well, because that's what it is. Like when you're in real estate sales, if you believe you're good at it, at a certain point, they only want to sell mansions. They say if it's less than $1 million, I don't want to go there.
But you do have those people that are not in mansions that have the $1 million. You would be surprised. I
say, what part of South Carolina are you at?
I'm in Gaffney, South Carolina.
What is a Gaffney?
I'm outside a big peach, a water tower that's in the shape of a peach. That's the famous thing here. But I'm literally outside of Spartanburg, Greenville, Spartanburg area.
Is that in the middle of the state or near the water?
Yes, the middle of the state.
No, Charlotte is a little.
Well, I'd say no, Columbia. I'm more north of the state than south of the state. South would be Charleston. Middle would be Columbia.
South Carolina, so North Carolina is above you. So you're pretty close.
I'm close to the line. I'm close to the line of North Carolina.
Close to Charlotte.
Yes.
Not too far from Charlotte.
No.
Charlotte became a huge city the past couple of years.
I'd say 90% of my clientele is out of North Carolina, Charlotte area.
Charlotte's a major metropolitan area.
It is.
When you were a little girl, I'm, small, very little girl, pigtails. Charlotte was not such a big city.
And I wasn't raised around this area. I was raised in Bristol, Tennessee. So
people like the big cities, and Charlotte became the big city of the whole.
Yes, it did.
Southern USA.
Yes, it did.
Excellent. So you're making money there, so you're not going anywhere. You're just going to stay in Charlotte area.
Yeah, I don't do much in South Carolina. I really don't. And only because when I worked for the broker, we were territorial, and North Carolina was my territory. So that's where, and I have the big Jewish community there in Charlotte area. So that's a lot there.
So you're doing well. You like the place.
Yes,
I do. Hear that. I'm glad to hear that. That is so sweet. Okay, what else we need to talk about? So whatever I could do for you, ideally, when companies build this type of technology, it's just technology. It's completely dependent on managers to take it to the next level. If you want to quit your job completely, give it to the person down the street and take over NAIP, you're more than welcome to, because you have a history of success.
Right. I would like to. I mean, I love it. Really. Be honest. I backed off of NAIP is in the beginning because I did the website. Honestly, there was so much information. I was getting so lost in where you was at. There was so much valuable information.
How many years have you known about NAIP?
I would say since 2010.
Okay, that's a long time. So this is when we set up a website that was terrible. It was just
And
a terrible.
we kept getting emails saying we couldn't join it for some reason. I think they were giving you a problem.
Okay, well, here's what happened, Rhonda. We set up this website multiple years ago because you set up something because you believe there's a need for it.
Absolutely.
But it's the implementation is the hard part. Everyone knows if you make 50 sales a month on Medicare, it's good.
Right.
Implementation is the hard part.
That's right.
In essence, what happened, there was a company multiple years ago that saw us providing a need. They realized that the quality wasn't there where it could get big.
Okay.
So this brilliant man that sold a term life quote engine decided to tell the world that we did bad stuff.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if you remember. Are you aware of that?
No, I wasn't aware of that, but I knew something was going on because we got emails that took us off of the website for a while, or we couldn't get onto the website.
No, that never happened. That never happened. It may have been, but just the quality wasn't that good.
Okay.
That's really that. But we did have an issue with someone who said we did bad stuff and went to court. We won, and it was a ridiculous thing, which was really designed to cause us not to be able to improve what we have. If we get a bad reputation in this industry, but that's neither here nor there. Everything is completely dependent on the quality. The quality that we're offering on the website is superior to anything you could get in the business.
Right.
If you click, in fact, if I was on screen share, which I'm not going to do, but if anyone wants to Google the word financial advisor website, the first one that pops up after the advertisement is a company called advisorwebsites.com. They're charging between $100 and $300 a month, and it's not high quality. It's copied content. You may have seen that 13-minute YouTube video, which specifically says you have to have original content and time on site. That determines if it moves up the search engine.
Right.
An added bonus is it's very hard to collect name, phone, and email of people coming in. Quote engines do that better than anything else.
Right. You're right. It does.
You might as well take advantage of it. It was only recently, I haven't really mentioned this, when I was doing these screen sharing on these video conferences, I've Googled the word financial advisor websites multiple times, but only recently one of the agents wanted to switch their hosting from GoDaddy to us. I mean, the website from GoDaddy to us. GoDaddy has a website builder. They're charging, I believe, $15 a month. And I went in there and I was pleasantly surprised that our stuff is better than GoDaddy. Immediately, I called my programmer. I said, do you realize you just created a better program than a multi-billion-dollar company? I'm like, what the? I was keeping this whole GoDaddy stuff about them being in this website builder sort of on the hush hush, but it could be I'll be publicizing that a little bit more. Comparing the two. We do have a superior system to them. You couple that with the quote engines, it's not even close.
Okay.
I did a little bit of research on the two companies. There's a company out there called Wix as well, Wix and GoDaddy, that do these automated website builders. And I don't know why they don't let you switch from one template to another. Have you ever had one of those websites?
No, I haven't.
Once you choose I did some clicking. Once you choose one, you're stuck with that one, which is pretty unusual. You can't change it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So I told my program, like, what? Like, how did he do this? But he did it. So So what we do is we just go on from that base and just offer more and more stuff. We will be adding. I just hired a new programmer specifically to build a CRM.
Oh.
To couple that to the back office.
Okay.
So there's a couple of companies offering CRMs. I suppose once we do the CRM, we'll immediately thereafter do a phone system.
Almost completed.
Right. That and the white label. The general guy who's doing the website, only he could do the white label because it's so complicated. Like, he knows where everything else. But these other stuff like CRM, it could be a separate programmer, which is easier. Okay. We've hired this gentleman. It should be done in 2.5 months.
Wow. That's
so when I see the CRM is done well, then we hook up the phone system. Every phone system, I'm not sure how technical you are, Rhonda, but every phone system out there is using a base of a company called Trulio or something to that effect. You may have heard of them.
I have.
Does that ring a bell?
Yes,
and
I have.
that's why there's so many phone system companies, because they're just hooking up to Trulio.
Right. And
So
I think mostly they are a web service, correct? A web-based.
Right, they're all web-based.
Yeah, they're all web-based. Mm-hmm.
They're all web. The whole internet is going. But the hard part is doing this website stuff. To do a high-quality website specific for financial service professionals is hard, and that's why it took so long. If it was so easy, we would have done it in 2012.
Correct. And then also just to mention, a lot of partnerships that I have been able to be successful with is financial brokers and like I don't know if I should mention names or anything, but institutions where they sell the wealth, but they don't the health, and they need partnerships for the health part of it. Just as they get ready to retire, give them the numbers and how much, down the road they're going to be needing to pay for health insurance and estimate it out. So I have been able to partnership with a lot of those financial brokers that we respect each other. Of course, I don't take their clients and the financial stuff that I do now. I respect that and keep it health only. And same thing, with a lot of other entities where they send me clients that I can help them and vice versa. If I can.
Ideally, what would be the beautiful situation when we do get this white label done, that you'll be able to offer them your website, that they'll have no idea that NAIP exists.
Okay.
And I suppose if you're offering someone this type of system and they believe it's coming from you, you're going to have a tremendous relationship with these people going forward.
Absolutely.
Especially they'll have no idea that my company exists.
I agree. I've been keeping my eye on you.
That is so sweet. That is so sweet.
I have.
Believe it or not, you bet you can't. I only got this new web camera 2 days ago. Yesterday's video conference had this high quality web camera, but I realized it took me I'm saying you should be doing this, this, and this, and you weren't doing it. Incredibly, I should have been doing YouTube multiple years ago, and I didn't do it.
You didn't do it,
which was pretty ridiculous. I saw one or two or three people doing YouTube videos, and I'm like, yeah, I should be doing that. And I'm like, next week. Then I finally decided to do it, and I bought the wrong webcam. I had some old webcam that the specifications were from 7 years ago.
Right. Well, this is my first YouTube video. Never been on a YouTube video before.
So how much your webcam? Where's it from?
Actually, on my system. It's on my new desktop. I don't have a new cam.
A desktop screen comes with a. Is that an Apple?
Yes. No, Apple it's not. It's Dell.
Dell puts it, because that's better, because when you get it in the system, it's lower. You're more likely to be looking at the screen. Maybe I should switch to Dell, because I'm having a hard time. I put a picture, I've got a picture right at the, I'm putting stuff right at the top, so I look up, so I don't look down. So Dell has solved that problem.
Yeah, it is.
That's the only way to solve the problem.
But you're crystal clear. I mean, the picture. Your camera.
I have it's a Logitech Brio for $200. It's the top of the line webcam, but you don't need it, because the main issue that people run into is they're not looking at the camera.
Right.
So if it's built in, you're more likely to look at the camera.
It is. It's built in.
That's the way you're supposed to do it. Okay, Rhonda, whatever you could do for me, I would certainly appreciate it. If I could do anything for you, I'm here. I'll be sitting in front of this computer for the next at least 10 years. Until we've got that huge network of people who have these regional offices. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to take 10 years.
No.
If you do anything really well, stuff takes off, and we finally did the website stuff well. It took
Correct.
so long. I'm almost embarrassed to say. Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't say 10 years or 2000.
No.
Well, it wasn't 2010. It was as afterwards.
That's my goal. I mean, I won't tell you my age, but that's my goal. 10 years, I want out. I want somebody else to run it, which will be my daughter at that time. I'm passing.
That is good to hear. But when you signed up for this, it was not 2010. This system was not up in 2010. It was a couple years after that.
Okay, so it was around 2012.
Well, that I can actually tell you. Let me tell you. I'll tell you the exact date. You were probably among the first people to sign up. And when you first signed up, Rhonda,
is my logon tell you how long I've been on it?
Yeah, I could. Last name is Richmond.
Richmond, Virginia.
I'm bragging about this system, and my system's down. Terrific.
Is it the way it goes?
There was a glitch in my admin back office. It's a little bit slow, but it was a couple years after that where the first person signed up. And I didn't even know how to do proper hosting. Maybe a year afterwards, someone told me about a friend of mine says, "Hey, I could do forwarding and masking," and I had no idea how that could be done. Then I realized that forwarding and masking, it's not secure and it looks lousy on a cell phone. That's how little I knew. I hired these people who didn't really do. The first guy I hired to do this stuff was really good, and that's what got me excited that it could be done. We had some sort of spat.
Right.
And he left. There was something happened and he came back, and the guy who initially did it is now working, and he's the one who does everything well. And that's why it's really. If this guy never left initially, this would have been at this type of quality, right? A couple of years ago.
Right. Yeah, you just overloaded me. I mean, I was like, there was so much information that was written down through there, and I was like reading everything. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, I wasn't reading, but it's really the graphic. It's really the graphics and the quality, but we did have the right idea that it's very hard to collect client information, and having those quote engines help.
Yes.
You've been doing this for a while, and you realize to get name, phone, and email is how you make money. So
I didn't even know till yesterday. Was it yesterday? I got on your site yesterday. I didn't even know people literally sent me messages. I had them since 2019.
Is the website on your own domain name?
No, it's not yet.
So if
we had a problem doing that, you was trying to help me do that.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. Now it's all there's a step 1 and step 2.
Okay.
And if you follow that, you should be good.
Okay.
As you probably know, you can't do stuff free forever, even though we say it's free forever. After so many hits, advertisements do pop up on these websites. To get rid of those ads, it's severely underpriced. It's how much? $14.99, which is, and if you sell through us at any time in the future, I will refund whatever you paid, which is severely lower than the $100 to $300 that those financial advisor websites are charging. If someone was to do, you signed up, Rhonda, in 2015, just to let you know if your memory
I knew it was a long time.
It was a while ago. Okay. And it looks like you attempted to put the website on your own domain name properly based on that richmondinsuranceSolutions.com.
Right. And the name's changed since then. It's Richmond Insurance Associates.
LLC. Okay, I would definitely, if you want to rechange it again, I do know that shorter is better. The less letters, the better.
Okay.
Even acronyms are better than having such more words. And associates is a little bit hard to spell. So, but you are at the right feeling that if you put your name in it, anything you could do to highlight you and your entity, that they remember you and they feel comfortable with you, that you're not hiding behind some sort of fake entity that no one's ever heard of. I've seen enough of those domain names that they look terrible, but acronyms are you don't need to put all those words in there.
Okay.
Our Richmond INS doc, just less the better.
Okay.
Or Richmond Insurance is probably not available, so you would have to get a little bit cute, like our Richmond agency.com or something to that effect, but less is better.
Okay, for the domain.
Right, for the domain.
Okay.
And just similar to what Geico did, where they plaster that on every ad That's really what you want to do. And whatever good ideas you come up with, I'm sure you came up with that good idea about having a
Yes.
concierge service for funeral homes.
Absolutely.
And you came up with another beautiful idea of last will and testament. So that could
Yes.
be on your, and very easy reference.
That's correct.
So whatever else you come up with. If you're big into this index universal life or retirement planning, offering websites to people, especially with your beautiful technology that you're now able to afford. I'm sure you have the best iPhone. You take a nice video of them, especially building trade, put it on yours, and especially building trade professionals. If you believe you're having trouble doing stuff well, imagine some guy who's on a roof, fixing a roof in the hot sun. He has no idea how to click buttons or anything like that. If you could set up his website, this guy will, buy anything from you.
That's true. That's true.
And we'll to give you a heads up on that. I guess it'll be a similar type situation where you offer these people or advertise free website, no strings, no catches, no nothing, similar to what I'm doing. At a certain point, hey, there's a big ad that says, please buy insurance from Rhonda. She's waiting for you, in your picture and your phone number.
Right.
In order to get rid of that ad, maybe you should buy that $4,000 or $5,000 index universal life from me, or that health insurance for your 20 employees.
Absolutely.
But it's a similar type technique. I suppose what just to give you ideas, since I'm on camera now 6 days a week, I have to keep my stuff here almost like a woman. I have to cut my hair all the time. The gentleman who cuts my hair, I set up a website for him, also the Google Local and the Bing Places. I happen to have the password for his Google Local. This guy's is probably even more obnoxious than myself. So he has 600 people who gave him 5-star reviews. 600, no joke. I have the password. It's my hair salon, not his.
Right.
If my second cousin decides to open up a hair salon, hair cuttery, I can grab his site and give him. In order for that not to occur, I do get discounted haircuts.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So what I'm saying to you, if you're into this index universal life retirement planning type of business, you set up these websites for people, they'll get a postcard to their home office or their office, and they'll give you the postcard of the password.
Exactly.
And you'll be in control of their Google account or their Google business account. And they'll be, that's life. What are you going to do?
That's right. That's right.
And Rhonda, we are good to go. I do thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Whatever I can do, I'm here for you. Hopefully good things will happen, and have a terrific rest of the day.
You too, David. Thank you so much for having me.
I'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I do thank everyone here. I was doing a lot of clicking towards the last couple of minutes, speaking to Rhonda. I have to flip back over to my page. As I mentioned, to Rhonda, we do have this call Monday to Thursday, 12 noon Eastern time, Saturday, Sunday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Please like and make a comment. If you have not signed up for NAAIP.org, please do so. It will cause you to make more money. Please subscribe and tell others about the show. Have a terrific rest of the day.